Good evening, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to a Monday night edition of The Wrap. And it is still Monday at last check. We are here on a Monday night. It's wonderful to be here, back in action at a reasonable hour for our peeps out there. Hello, everyone, as we recap the highs and lows of Monday Night Raw, going down live from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, as the road to WrestleMania 42 continues as we make our way to Las Vegas in 26 days. I'm Keila Cash, and by my side, as always, is my co-captain, my right hand, the sometimes advocate for the brand new WWE Women's Speed Champion, Ren Sinclair from NXT. I bring to you back on the wrap, as always, the one, the only clean-shaven babyface, yet salty, Scott Young. Welcome back, Salty.
Hey, Rap and Keila, as always, it's a pleasure to chop it up and talk all things WWE. I'm excited about the conversation we're going to have. And yeah, shout out to Ren, holding me down, making me look good. She's already got more titles than Jada got for me last year, but I digress.
Oh, not you using my phrasing, not my word of you digress on that topic of discussion. Because listen, Ren has fulfilled her prophecy this year. She has made it worth your while to be your client, as you are her advocate, championing her to victory this past Tuesday on NXT as she beat my girl Fallon Henley for the Speed Championship. So good for Ren for getting the W and a major championship under her belt in WWE. Congrats to her, and you are on the board. So as of right now, you have made your year in March.
Yeah, it just kind of happens like that. And another thing, she's got more titles in 2026 than KJ.
You know what? We're still working on that. We're still going to be here at the end of the year for our Rap Awards, our 5th annual Rap Awards. And we're going to see if KJ, aka Kalani Jordan, is going to raise her stakes, raise her value and her stock level with Scott to get off of probation.
Probation, house arrest, 24/7 lockdown. Listen, Kalani Boredom's probably gonna have a real good year. She's just you're not convincing me with this one. Okay. Like Naomi, you got me. I'm a fan, but not KJ. It's not happening.
All right.
Or
So
KB, I guess.
Words. You're wrong. You're wrong for that. But famous last words. That's what he always says. And I am proven to be a prophet when this is all said and done. So you just remember this moment on March 23rd, 2026, when he said, "No chance will I be converted to a KJ believer." Well, by December 2026, he will be a man eating humble pie on this here air. Trust and believe me when I say that. But I want to shout out the chat. Curryhead, the legendary Curryhead, has dropped by to offer his thoughts on the opening segment of Monday Night Raw. To note, I want Oba to squash Brock in 30 seconds at WrestleMania. Well, Curryhead, my dear friend, we're not going to get a 30-second special at WrestleMania. We might get a 5-minute smash and rock match.
Which would be just fine.
Perfectly fine.
Either night, middle of the show, beginning of the show. Listen, but he could be a terrible person, but if we're not gonna act like he can't bring it in the ring. And it seems like he wants to help make Oba. So I think the match is gonna be really good.
I think so too. I really believe that as well. I'm looking forward to it. The F5, the kick out that will happen for sure. I am here for the mess. I'm here for it. I look forward to it. They got me hyped for WrestleMania. I will say that it has been a journey to get here, but they're trying to heat up the nachos for WrestleMania with 26 days to spare. Hello, Fernando. Good evening to you as well. As he knows, the old Roman Reigns laid out the voice of the voiceless tonight. Yeah, that was the OC, the OG tribal chief, not the OTC. The OG tribal chief doing the most at the end of Monday Night Raw, and then he comes in to offer his condolences to the Lakers as their winning streak has come to an end. And it's something that Scott and I can bond over because the Hawks streak ended on Friday against the Houston Rockets as well. So we can offer our condolences and pat each other on the back. But my team, as of right now, is back on a 2-game winning streak and they're out of the play in.
We we not out of the play.
We are out of the play in right now.
Shout out to y'all, man. Who'd have thought trading your best player would make you guys go on an 11-game win streak? What do you know? But we're competing for two different things. You're competing to get to the not play in. We're competing to get to the finals. So we're just, as of right now, we're kind of like that. LeBron is the greatest third option of all time. And it's just it's kind of a beautiful thing to see right now, to be honest with you.
You can say that now. And we are in the exact, and let me repeat this again for all of our peeps out there. We are in the exact same position as we were in last year. And if the season ended today, guess who they would play in the first round?
The Mini Wolves. The Mini Wolves.
Who beat you in 5?
That was last year. That was last year. Okay, them Timberwolves ain't over there no more. They de-evolved. Like Pokemon evolved. They de-evolved. They're the Mini Wolves now.
The Mini Wolves. As I said, what I love about this show, especially since we are live now, that people can go back on YouTube and they can replay Scott's face and they can replay his words and realize that he is a man that talks a lot of shit. He does. He's very confident in the moment. He's very bold and bodacious in his words and his predictions, and he's wrong. He will be wrong again. The Lakers in 5, as in they will be eliminated in 5.
Nah, not this year. We getting out of the first round. We're gonna pull an upset in the second round, and we're gonna just see what happens in the Western Conference Finals. So
look at you.
That's just where we're at this year.
Look at you being modest. See what happens in the Western Conference Finals, knowing what's going to happen if you're playing OKC. At least you're a realist about it.
We'd win. We'd go to the finals, and LeBron would get number 5, Luka would get number 1, and Austin Reeves would go make $250 million next year, and everybody would be going home happy.
That is so sweet of you. You can, where you can get that dream scenario in NBA 2K26. You can get that right there anytime you want to.
Yeah, I already did that. Traded Luka and everybody and just had LeBron win it by himself.
Of course you did. 5 LeBrons in the court. Of course you did. 5 creative LeBrons out there just balling in all of their little jersey and all of their little Cleveland and Laker uniforms.
Not created. You just take them from different eras. I got Miami Bron. I got the old LA Bron, point guard Bron. I got Cleveland Bron. I got second Miami Bron. All-Star Bron.
You're funny. You are. And Fernando is all about a 3-minute match at WrestleMania between Oba and Brock. 5 minutes, I would say tops. You should do that match for.
You can go a little more than 5. I mean, I think both of them are much better wrestlers than Goldberg. And Goldberg had a really good 5-minute run with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. So they can go like 7 or 8 for me.
Listen, my concern level is Brock turning purple by minute 5.
That's fine. That's fine.
Of course it is.
That's fine. I mean, that's fine. Okay. You'll be all right.
Yes, Fernando. That says a lot about Ice Tray, that when you trade him away, look what happens. The division opens up and you go on a win streak and you're in the playoffs and not the play-in. Look at God. God is good all the time, is he not? Then, as Fernando astutely notes, the Wolves are so dangerous. Yes, they are, Fernando, as they beat the Boston Celtics the night before on Sunday, something they have not done in over 20 years. So, yeah, you should watch out for those Wolves in the playoffs. Watch out for the Wolf Pack.
Okay. All right. I'll keep an eye out for Conan.
As the Nuggets and the Wolves are still matchup problems for the Lakers. That is correct, Fernando, as Scott tries to puffer his team up for the playoffs.
Listen, they're a matchup problem from us. We're a matchup problem for them. All right. And I'll take my three-headed monster versus Jokic.
Talking all that brave talk. I just love how he just stands on business all the time and how he will always be wrong. And I take great pleasure in that. I do. We will reassess in 6 weeks. We'll sit back, I'll pull up the numbers and just say how wrong Scott is. But that is our NBA yakety yak. As of right now, the Lakers and the Hawks are in a better position than the Warriors, who need to call the season at this point. No need to continue. Throw in the towel. Don't even worry about a play in. It's okay. Focus on next year. Steph, heal up your knee. It's okay. There's no need to come back. There's nothing to come back to. We have no chance. There's no hope for us this year. You want us to get beat down in the first round by the Oklahoma City Thunder? No, we don't need that.
That'd be great.
Thank you, Fernando. Of course, it would be for Scott because he's a hater. But yes, sit down, Steph. You do not need to go back out there this year. Please don't. It ain't worth it. Ain't nothing to play for. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't winning nothing. It's a wrap. But enough NBA yakety yak. It's now time to get into some Monday Night Raw talk, going down live from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, home of the Celtics, who hosted the winning Timberwolves the night before, as we get to our opening segment of Monday Night Raw, which was Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman spent about 5 minutes talking about how Brock Lesnar was simply unprepared last week after facing 20 Putty Patrol members, beating them down, suplexing them, doing F5s, chasing them away. He was so tired and he was distracted by Seth Rollins that Oba caught him on a bad night. And that was not a true reflection of what will happen at WrestleMania. And of course, Paul Heyman mentions the undefeated streak of The Undertaker at WrestleMania that was broken by Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30 way back in 2014. 12 years ago. And he says no one could do that. Not AJ Styles, not Dean Ambrose, no one but the one and only Brock Lesnar. He was the 1 in 21-1. And at WrestleMania, Oba Femi is not going to conquer Brock Lesnar. He will be conquered. He will be mauled. He will be dominated by the beast, Brock Lesnar. And Oba came out to a huge reception from the crowd, and they did his dance in the crowd like he's over. And so it came down to Brock and Oba in the ring, standing face to face, eye to eye, toe to toe. And the atmosphere was everything. This was Brock's opportunity to say, I was ready tonight. I am prepared. I am ready to lay you out. So he low blows Oba, goes up for an F5. Oba gets out of the move, proceeds to bounce Brock off the ropes and clothesline him out of the ring onto the floor. And Brock is shooketh, and Paul is without speech. And Brock is trying to go back in the ring, but Paul talks him down. So for the second week in a row, Brock Lesnar got bitched out by Oba Femi, and I loved every moment of this.
Yeah. they doing Oba right now. Which, could be a little concerning because maybe that just means they're gonna have Brock Lesnar just beat that man down at WrestleMania. But I'm gonna give Ryan Ward and them a little bit more credit. I think they believe in Oba. I think the reaction speaks for itself. Him getting the better of Brock the next 2 weeks in a row that's pretty important, man. It doesn't just randomly happen to anybody, especially somebody brand new. I'm fully expecting Brock to get a full beat down on him here in the next couple weeks, though, just to, make sure he keeps a little heat on himself. But they've done with Oba so far is presented him as a real threat that Brock better take very serious.
Yeah, and Corey Graves and Michael Cole talked about this on commentary too. That maybe Brock going into this year's WrestleMania is the underdog versus Oba Femi, who's been laying him out pretty handedly in the last couple of weeks. Now we know that Monday Night Raw is in New York City next week at MSG Madison Square Garden, where you create amazing moments heading into WrestleMania season. So I do wonder what they will do with Brock and Oba for next week, because at some point you will need Brock to be on top for at least 1 week heading into WrestleMania. And it's got to be a violent sneak attack in all likelihood to put Oba down, only for Oba to rebound at WrestleMania, because the money is going to be Oba kicking out of an F5 or hopping out of it, hopping out of a suplex. It's got to be something dramatic and jaw dropping to really get fans into that moment of WrestleMania. But he's got to be weakened a bit, and I think it might happen next week in MSG.
Yeah, or one of my favorite kind of flip it on Brock moments is when Brock threw Braun Strowman for that very first time during Braun Strowman's singles push, and Braun just rolled through and stood in that corner, and the crowd reacted so loud to it. Like, I could see something like that. Now that could be an MSG moment. Brock thinks he gets him from behind, suplexes him. Oba just rolls through and sits in that corner, throws his hands up. Like, yeah, there's still a lot of meat left on the bone there to get, with Oba still getting the upper hand before Brock just snaps, and you're like, okay, now we're about to see it. But yeah, next week's gonna be interesting to see what they do, and if they do decide to either have Brock beat him down or does Oba get him 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because you got to do something. Brock's got to have one good day heading into WrestleMania, at least one. And he's going to be on basically all these shows leading into WrestleMania in about 4 weeks' time in Las Vegas. As we get to our next segment, which was the Usos versus Austin Theory and Logan Paul, this match was there. It was a way to build to a bigger match next Monday from MSG, as LA Knight was providing an assist when Logan Paul tried to cheat with the brass knucks. So LA Knight came out and he proceeded to post Logan Paul, grab said brass knucks, hand them to Jey Uso, and Jey, not giving a single damn about the match and the consequences of what he was about to do, he proceeded to knock out Austin Theory with said brass knucks for the DQ, which gave the Vision the victory, and he knocked out Logan Paul for good measure. And because of this, Paul Heyman said, well, my guys are the number one contenders for these tag team titles, and they should get a title match next Monday from Madison Square Garden. And Adam Pearce made that match official for next week. Do I foresee a title change? Nope, because Seth Rollins is going to be there because Paul Heyman is a dumbass. So when you have a man who has a putty patrol at his disposal at present, and you think to yourself at MSG in New York City, in the Big Apple, that your answer to all of this is to have your guys vie for these championships in a street fight is no DQ, no count out. Anybody can interfere. Paul Heyman, you are a dummy. But I go off and I digress.
Yeah, I mean, what more can you do when you got Lord Zed and Rita Repulsa, Becky Lynch out there, the scepter? And that's gonna be the WrestleMania entrance. They're gonna come up on his little seat. He's gonna turn like Lord Zed did in the TV show. He's gonna have his scepter, and all the little putties or the massive men are all just gonna run out from behind. You remember how the John Cena just had like 100 John Cenas back in that WrestleMania? That's what's gonna happen with the Putty Patrol. They're all just gonna run out before Lord Zed comes down and makes his way to the ring for his match.
First of all, that's a cold entrance. If he
it
actually
is
does
on the
that.
low. It is on the low. Like,
come on,
that would be real hard if he came out on the seat and then all those little putties just ran out.
That is actually pretty badass. And the fact that Seth has his own logo like Lord Zed, it's perfect. It's perfect. The S and the R with the logo. You got the Putty Patrol coming out there, him on his throne with his scepter. You got Becky. Listen, she can cosplay as Rita, Come on
Mm-hmm.
now. It is a beautiful vision, I must say. And hello, Carol. And you're making a very valid point because the word on the street is that someone could be back before WrestleMania. So they say they could see Braun helping them win next week if he's cleared. It definitely seems like Seth and Braun is a direction if he's healthy. So that is a possibility too. If Braun is at 100%, he can come back, thwart Seth, and Theory and Logan Paul are your tag team champions heading into WrestleMania. God help us all.
I, I mean, they don't care. So they clearly don't care because we're when so they lose everybody in their group and they all of a sudden become good enough to get tag title shots. It's whatever. It's whatever. If the Usos do not win that match, there's the tag titles are just non-existent at that point.
Listen, if they lose these titles next week, I don't want to see them defend it at WrestleMania because listen what happened last year. We got the New Day and the Viking Raiders or the War Raiders at WrestleMania in an ice cold tag team championship match. If that is our standard with Austin Theory and Logan Paul winning these titles, we can put them on the pre-show. No, we could put them on WrestleMania Raw during WrestleMania week. That's how we can handle that. Because what I don't want to see is matches that don't have heat and value on WrestleMania. We have to earn our spots, people. And the booking suggests, with all due respect to both tag divisions for Raw and SmackDown, not the women's division, because they're killing the tag team scene, but for the men's division specifically, you do not, in my humble opinion, deserve a spot on WrestleMania this year because the booking has been crap.
Yeah, I could definitely see them though having Logan Paul on like the ESPN free hour or whatever, the pre-show or whatnot. So they might make their way onto the WrestleMania card.
Oh, God. And I know why, because of Tom Brady. That would explain it if that were to happen.
Okay. See, we just said. I mean, that's it right there. What have that show up on WrestleMania? Yeah, I could 100. That show up on WrestleMania on ESPN. Yeah, come on, that's right there for him.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I can definitely see that. God help us, but that is probably the play right now for sure. Because Tom been shading WWE in jest as of late, all in storyline. They want him in Las Vegas. He is a partial owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, who is the host venue for this year's WrestleMania, the second year in a row. So they got to do that synergy. He's a part of the Fanatics Fest in New York City every year. And they did the flag football thing this past weekend. So, yeah, you can see the connection there. I think Tom Brady would be a lot of fun because he's a great shit talker. He is highly underrated in that regard. Very quick on the microphone because he got that man together on his podcast.
Yeah, definitely don't see him wrestling,
No,
but I
absolutely
could.
not. Hell no. No.
But I could definitely see him being the hype man for somebody against Logan Paul. Maybe
Mhm.
like LA Knight and a partner or somebody, because LA Knight
Yeah,
doesn't seem like he's gonna have anything to do except get beat down by the Usos.
that's my fear too. And Carol notes as well that match was rough last year with the New Day and Viking Raiders. It was. I thought to myself, why is this on the card to hype a video game? That was the reason why. Product placement was the reason why that match took place at WrestleMania, and that saddened me. And Fernando notes Tom Brady is for sure going to be at Mania. I believe that too. Hello, Maria. Good evening to you as well. Welcome in. And how dare you? Gronk must join him. Yeah, you're probably right.
I haven't really been a Gronk fan since he decided to smash Steve Harvey's head at that New Year's Eve thing. So had no
The
reason to
fact I
destroy that
remember
man's
that.
Lego. Yeah, you know exactly because it was a very mean thing to do. He ought to be ashamed of himself.
And it was so random that he did it. Like, why did you
Yeah,
do
why?
that?
Exactly.
Oh God. I mean, listen, It would be a make good for hosting WrestleMania during a pandemic with Mojo Rawley with nobody there 6 years ago. It's got to be redemption.
All right. So which one of them's taking the bump?
Gronk, Tom is not bumping. He is going to be the manager. If Tom Brady takes a bump, if he does anything athletic, I will be astounded. Like if Tom was 35 years old, sure, the man is pushing 50. What he gonna do? He got to protect his face. That man is worth $300 million talking alone in the booth. He ain't taking a bump.
He can take a frog splash.
Sir, that man is worth $300 million for his voice alone. He ain't taking a bump.
You're probably right.
And I am, sir. Yes, I am. And Carol notes 3 weeks in a row with no Gunther on the show. Do y'all see him getting on the Mania card? Supposedly he was supposed to face Ray, but he has broken ribs. Gunther missing WrestleMania would be a choice. It truly would. The man that has retired John Cena and AJ Styles, despite the injuries, WWE has adjusted for other matches on this card. To have Gunther iced out of WrestleMania would definitely be a choice.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, I'm sure there's going to be some type of multi-man match for the IC title or something. So if nothing else, you just throw him in that match, which is kind of disrespectful. Gunther versus LA Knight, yeah, you could do that. I don't. You could do that. That could be fun. But yeah, Gunther. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of is, or you just give him a one-on-one versus Penta. I'd be cool with that for the IC title. Like, why not?
Or give me Ilya versus Gunther.
Yeah, that would be. But are they gonna give them like they? If you give me Ilya Gunther, you got to give me 15 to 20.
They got the time. If they're doing 8 matches a night, you can give me 15 to 20.
Nah, they don't have the time. They don't have the. So there's gonna be about 3 matches that are 8 minutes. Why do you think Gunther Oba? That's 5 to 8 right there. There's gonna be a couple others going 5 to 8. Bella match 5 to 8.
Listen, if Anthony Khan can deliver a 7-hour show, then WWE can go old school and give me a 5-hour show to give me a 20-minute Ilya and Gunther match at WrestleMania. Don't deny me. Don't play with me. Because Gunther has nothing else to do, which saddens me greatly. Like there's no backup plan. Either you give him a match or you ice him at WrestleMania, which is crazy.
Yeah, him being iced out of Mania is kind of with the year that he's had, regardless how you feel about him, but the year that he's had to be able to do that is kind of a wild thing to think about. So he have to get on there somehow.
Got to make it happen for sure. And then Fernando says, get Alan Richardson for Mania. Did you see what he did to his neighbor?
No, what did you do?
Fernando, you have to fill in the blanks. Fernando, you have to fill in the blanks and tell us. So this can be justified at WrestleMania. I'll check the comments, I'll post back, and I'll report what Fernando says. And then Maria notes we can do Dom versus Penta versus Gunther for the IC Championship. I do think that Dom will be busy with Finn Balor.
Yeah. Another 4-way for the wasn't that the match that Dom won the title with last year was a 4-way for
yes.
the IC title?
Yes.
So there's something there. Like you could do that again and maybe have Finn Balor be the one to come out with the title this time. But yeah, actually, go ahead, throw Finn and make that a 4-way. I'm not opposed to it.
It is on brand for sure. And then we do have our next match on Monday Night Raw, which was Javon Evans versus Grayson Waller from the New White Day. And this match was solid. Grayson Waller was there. He's present. He did what he needed to do. Javon was amazing per the usual. He overshot a dive. Like, sir, it's Grayson Waller. Calm down. It's all good. And after that, they just delivered some nice show-stopping moments. Kofi was at ringside and he was neutral. He did not jump Javon. He did not interfere. He wanted Grayson to win fair and square. He didn't want to cast any doubt about this win being fair if he intervened. But Javon, in a great moment, did a what was supposed to possibly be a Spanish fly. He turned that to a super hurricanrana, landed the super cutter, the OG cutter for the win. And Kofi once again explained to Grayson Waller why he did not intervene in this matchup. Good dub for Javon Evans. And what I would like to see at WrestleMania, because I know Javon has his eyes set on the IC title potentially. If it's not going to be a multi-man match at WrestleMania, what they could do in a passing of the torch from one OG to another, you could do Kofi versus Javon at WrestleMania.
Yeah. That's an ESPN match. I think that's a nice ESPN match to have because Javon will definitely be able to do some things that could get some people like, oh, okay. Y'all got people like that now? Okay. Because, all right. So, yeah, I'm with it if it's an ESPN match. If it's just on the card, I don't know about that. It could definitely be on a Raw after, but if it's ESPN, one of the free hours, I'm with it.
Yeah, yeah. And then Fernando fills in the blanks, knowing his neighbor was messing with him and Reacher just whooped his ass big time. It's all on video.
Yeah, he's a big guy, so I don't really know what that neighbor could have been on to be messing with him in the first place. So, yeah, I might need to go check that out.
Yeah, but then Maria notes Bobby Lashley was iced for Mania on the same year he was WWE champion. Well,
no. He got to be on Mania. He was holding the Andre the Giant trophy that he won.
Oh God!
So he made the card. He made the card.
We're not going to use that as like, well, he was on the WrestleMania card. He was WrestleMania adjacent. That's what that was.
And won the Dre that Friday.
Yes, he did. Oh God. I wonder who's going to be in that position this year. Because granted, it did benefit Carmelo. He has elevated thyself on the main roster. He is already defending U.S. champion. So who's next in line to carry on this tradition to be elevated?
You know who's going to win it? It's going to be LA Knight. They're going to throw that man a bone. But you know what, man? We don't ever let you win that. Go ahead and get yourself a Dre.
Get you that Dre on WrestleMania SmackDown.
Yeah. Right before the Hall of Fame. And then I want you to stay the whole night.
Stay awake now. Don't go to sleep like Booker T did.
Stay awake because we're going to get you on camera.
Yes, everybody dozing off. Like no long speeches this year, y'all, because I tried to stay up last year. I was like Booker T. Paul Levesque just kept talking and talking and talking with no regard for the curfew. Like, sir, it is 3:30 in the morning, my time. Let's go to bed. What are we doing? I have NXT to cover on Saturday afternoon. The audacity of you. And he kept talking.
That doesn't surprise me. So, yeah. And Danhausen winning. Okay. I can see you cursing somebody and then be like, you know what? Nah, I don't even want the curse. I'm out of here.
Well, I Show Speed has been cursed. So our condolences to him.
I guess that means Braun Breaker's coming back soon.
Yeah, poor I Show. And he's been putting on some muscle too. Like I Show Speed was looking fit tonight backstage. We're going to pray for him because he is taking a bump. I do feel that as well. And Maria knows Royce Keys should win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on WrestleMania SmackDown. I love that idea as well. If you want to make somebody and say, hey, this thing can really benefit somebody 6 months from now, Royce Keys is a fine candidate.
If he's not busy with the rolls of jelly.
Sir, let's move on quickly, okay? So let's move on to Becky Lynch coming out. How can I follow that? Really? The rolls of jelly. Are you Kit Wilson? Because only he would come up with that and get away with it. The rows of jelly. Oh, God.
But you knew exactly what I was talking about.
I knew. Well, who else could I possibly? Who else could you possibly be talking about? Not a jelly donut from Dunkin'. Rows of jelly.
That
The
would be
audacity of
bad.
you. Yes, it would. Actually, it would be very, very bad. All right. So Becky Lynch comes out and she is very upset that her daughter, Rue, sweet Rue, has now apparently become an AJ Lee fan. That she caught her daughter skipping around the house and flipping her hair like AJ Lee. And Becky Lynch was offended by this. How dare my greatest creation, my greatest blessing, has turned on me, has forsaken me, and picked my enemy as her new hero. So she came back with a vengeance, very upset. And she talked about elevating the IC title in the women's division, made it the title in WWE, and she loves that championship. She's taken it to places it's never been before. She legitimized it, all facts, all truth on that. And then she mentions AJ Lee coming from a bygone era, the Divas era. And I thought this part of the promo was some of Becky's best mic work in a while, noting that Divas era, that Divas lineage that you come from, I killed that. I murdered that. I clipped its wings. I stabbed it in the heart. I killed that. And I'm going to end the rest of this at WrestleMania when it comes to you, because you are the last vestige of this Divas era that I need to get rid of. So AJ Lee comes out and she runs after Becky Lynch. Becky jumps over the barricade, skips away, and AJ says, okay, so you want one more shot. I'm going to give it to you at WrestleMania, because apparently I am your daughter's favorite wrestler now as well. And that will even give me more incentive to embarrass you one more time on the big stage at WrestleMania. And it's a go. They needed this kind of serious promo to heat up this match at WrestleMania. Best mic work from Becky in a minute, and AJ held her own in this segment as well.
Becky's a really good heel, but unfortunately, I'm rooting for her. And this promo did nothing but made me want to root for her more. I mean, nothing she said was wrong. She is the reason the IC title is relevant and people care about it. And everything she said about the Divas era, her being the reason that they moved past that and what she was able to accomplish, it's all facts. So I'm rooting for Becky Lynch to get the title. It may not be the objective, but I'm fully behind it, because AJ Lee was fine. She wasn't Becky Lynch in this, though. Becky Lynch absolutely carried this tonight.
She had to. When Becky is serious and locked in, she can elevate a feud. She says at WrestleMania, nobody can touch me. It's where I'm at my best, at WrestleMania. Former WrestleMania main eventer. It's what I do. I make people better around me. And you're going to get a taste of that too. So I expect them to lock in the next 4 weeks. And the build to this, to start the rematch for WrestleMania for the IC title, was good. And I absolutely believe with every fiber of my being that Rue loves AJ Lee. I actually believe that happened. That an episode of Monday Night Raw aired and Rue saw AJ and started skipping. And Becky, in real life, probably smiled, because there are reports that are valid that some people were at Disneyland this past weekend and they probably met up at Disneyland.
The punks and the Rollins.
Yes, the punks, the Lopez's and the Brookses. We're all at Disneyland. Is that a coincidence?
They got the turbo. Nah, they all got the turbo pass. I was like, yeah, let's just all skip to the front of the line. I'll meet you there.
Not the turbo pass. Yeah, so all of them were there. Coincidence? Hell no. They just made sure y'all can't film any of us together at this place at the same time. That cannot happen.
But don't worry, it'll be on WWE Unreal next season when they show you how CM Punk and Seth Rollins have become best friends now backstage.
Their wives are planning lunches, and The daughter is like loving AJ. Like, yeah, they're probably sharing coffee recipes and stuff. They probably got the first order for the coffee when it comes out next month. Yeah, they're besties. All coming to you for season 3 of WWE Unreal.
That's great.
Hey, I'm here for it. I would love to see the behind the scenes footage of the Brookses and Lopez's at Disneyland.
You might see AJ Lee throw Becky Lynch off something. They might do a video from there. You know, this is some footage we received the other day.
Not footage we received. and then the footage will be shot in 4K. The most professional guerrilla footage you can possibly find.
And like, who's the provider of the footage? Just a random fan.
No, Scott. No. It has to be someone that has stakes in the game. It was Mickey Mouse that filmed the footage. He had an embedded camera in his ear and he filmed it.
Yeah, it'd be something like that. See, that's what's coming. But don't worry, Becky will get her through. Just hang on, AJ. Hang on, AJ. Becky will get you through this.
And she will, and she has so far, most definitely. As we get to, I thought was a very weak segment. Now, in the lore of WWE, we have seen some amazing arrest angles of people getting locked up, getting handcuffed, whooping ass en route to jail. So Paul Heyman decides to be a little bitch and put a restraining order out on Seth Rollins, saying that you can't come near me. I'm scared of you. Stay away from me. So Seth comes out in his Putty Patrol fit on the main stage, on the announce table, and Paul Heyman immediately has the Boston Police Department, or as I like to call them, the Rent a Cops out there, the faux PD out there, to reprimand and arrest Seth Rollins. So as he walks away, we have Paul Heyman talking about Becky Lynch being without her husband as he's away, I guess, at Rikers, apparently. So when he's arrested for life, she will never see her husband again, and she will marry half the locker room. Wow. So she's going to be a bigamist out of nowhere. That was weird. Then he mentions because Becky is going to be out of the marriage and possibly leaving her daughter too, that Paul will adopt Rue. And at that moment, Seth lost it. He broke free from the faux PD department of Boston and he jumped Paul, and they grabbed him again, handcuffed him, and hauled him off to jail for the night. We didn't even see Seth get in the police car. He was just escorted out of the building, and Paul was laughing. I thought this was stupid. I thought this was lame. And I don't know what's going on with Paul Heyman, but the material is weak. It is fairly pedestrian by his standards. Who knows how to usually sell? He knows how to usually sell stuff better than this. I did not nibble on this at all. I thought this sucked.
I didn't think it was that bad. I thought the arrest itself was pretty bad. Like we've seen Rollins have some great moments, like when he invaded the takeover because it was Triple H's show to get his attention when they were feuding. That was great. But listen, Paul Heyman can't do it all. He's being stretched real thin here. Okay, he's already got to do the vision thing. He's got to do this. Gallagher kind of came out with Brock. We're asking him to do a lot. Okay, so maybe this is what he needs, is just to get cut off from something. Give this a break for a little bit, and then whenever Braun Breaker's ready to come back, Seth Rollins can come back and get laid out by Braun, and we can finally set that up. But I mean, this was here just to continue the feud. He should have just sent out the putties first.
Well, that gimmick has run its course because they all got beat up last week. They all got kicked in the chest and they disintegrated. So therefore, they can't help him anymore.
There's got to be one or two left, but you got to have a couple left, or you got to go recruit. You got to put out an ad on Indeed or something. But you got to go get about 4 or 5 buddies at a time, anywhere you go.
Not go on Indeed.
LinkedIn, whichever one you prefer to use, Monster. But you gotta put your ads out there.
Sir, who is getting hired on Monster today in the year 2026? Who would even put their
The putties.
resume on Monster? Listen, the putties would put their resume on Craigslist before they put it on monster.com. That's like putting yourself on Career Builder. Nobody's there. Who's there? Nobody.
Nobody's there.
Oh,
It's a perfect place to go find a mindless man to put in a putty mask.
listen, or better yet, like do it the old school way. You basically mold them and create them and you bake them. Remember, you used to bake the putties and they come out?
Yeah, he used to make different monsters, but he would be like, well, how come all your monsters suck? Why don't you just make like a really big monster and then he'll already be big? And then when he becomes bigger, like those are my questions. But
Those are too deep, even for us to wonder the why. Like, okay, if you can make a monster, why aren't they big already? Why must I build it, put it in a oven, bake it? It opens up. Oh my God, it's a purse monster. And then they don't do shit for the entire fight sequence. They try to beat the
and then
Megatron with a purse.
and then I gotta wait for Rita to throw her staff down there. Who goes and gets her staff after she throws it down? Who went and
That
got her staff every episode?
a putty, a putty patrol person. They brought it
Okay.
back. Like, there's a lot of work to do this. My God, let's not overthink the Power Rangers at this point. It was a lot going on. So that arrest happened and it was lame as hell. I hated it. Burned this segment with fire. I thought it sucked. And I need Braun Breaker to heal thyself very fast and come back and save this. Please. Pretty please. Please. Next up was the Kabuki Warriors versus Lyra Valkyria and Bailey. This match was solid. It's basically building the narrative and story of Lyra and Bailey being also very close to winning those tag team titles at last year's WrestleMania, only for Becky Lynch to jump Bailey, taking her spot. So it feels like they're trying to retell the story of redemption for Lyra and Bailey to get back to WrestleMania and win these tag team titles. They win this tag team match, and in doing so, they challenge Nia Jax and Lash Legend for set titles next Monday at MSG. Bailey, who I love and adore, made a fatal faux pas for a moment by saying that we are challenging Lash and Nia at the world's most famous arena, and you say that in TD Garden in Boston, where the Celtics hate the Knicks. And then she said, "You love Lyra and Bailey?" Yes. Well, that's the last line you should remember in this segment because she knew she stepped in it. Like, Bailey, remember your surroundings. You are in Boston. You can never praise Madison Square Garden where the Knicks play. You cannot do that. Whoever wrote that, shame.
Oh, it was intentional. That was a sabotage. Somebody was trying to sabotage Bailey. Um, First of all, why would you do Boston and New York back to back anyway? Like, what kind of game is that? What kind of game is that? You can't even hype up next week. You can't even hype up next week because okay, whatever. But yeah, I what if Bailey gets taken out again? Would that be too much, or are we doing, or is that like if Bailey gets taken out again, that's a sign she's leaving because there's no way she gets taken out of 2 WrestleManias 2 years in a row. So, I think we get a title change next week. Maybe Charlexa interfere and the Bellas. It's just shenanigans everywhere.
Charlexa, Ben and Jerry's, the Bella twins, all of them interfere next week. I'm not mad at the possibility, but I think that you want to tell the story of full redemption of Lyra and Bailey, their ups and downs to win this on the big stage, win these titles at WrestleMania. That makes more sense to me than winning at the Garden next Monday. Now, Fernando is still praying for women's TLC. God, I just wished that it happened with other teams in the mix last fall. I think we've missed the peak on that. I really do. Now they still can do it, But do I care as much as I would have 4 or 5 months ago? Unfortunately, no. But I do think that is the only path because I do not want to say a six-pack challenge for these titles at WrestleMania. It should be TLC. Will they be bold enough to do it? I simply do not know.
Yeah, we not getting the Bellas in no TLC match, and they're definitely going to be involved somehow in this tag title match. So I think we might get like a 4-way or something like that. But yeah, I think the TLC thoughts are. I think those are gone.
Yeah. Now, listen, I will say this. We'll get to SmackDown in a bit. I did not love that tag team title match, but I thought that Brie looked really good in the match. She did. She carried. She did.
She. I mean, she should be good considering who her husband is. Like your husband's the goat, so you should be good. But
Listen, she was in the lab and she was like, listen, I'm going to hit my spots. Nia was slow as molasses, but I'm going to hit my spots. Nia is annoying me again, but I digress.
Nia's solid though. Like I'm okay with her working a big style because she's a bigger girl and she's using her size to her advantage like she should.
I need Lash to dump her as soon as possible because that is an anchor in her career. Like, Lash, free thyself. Please, God.
She just won the tag titles with her. Lash ain't been near no titles since she been in WWE. But now she got Nia by her side, wins tag titles, and you want her to dump her.
Listen, I have my reasons for her career preservation, to preserve it, to protect it, to get away from that poison. She needs to dump her as soon as possible.
Okay.
Don't get poisoned by her. And then Fernando notes the Bellas get taken out before the match. You could be right. But then that is so shady because granted, WWE just signed them to a 2-year deal.
Yeah, if you do that, it's like, all right, thanks for being here, but we don't need you. Like that's a tough move to make right there. So yeah, I'm with you, Fernando. I like Nia. I think she works the style she's supposed to, but it is what it is. I mean, she's never going to be the workhorse, but I think she's been solid in ring as far as what she's been asked to do.
Now, listen, once upon a time, in the last year or so, I was rolling with Nia because I could see that she improved. She's regressed to me a bit recently. And on top of that, she's shady boots. And when you're that on top of what you haven't been doing lately, that is a combination I do not like. She is a shit stirrer with a pot and a spoon, and she stirs and stirs and stirs. All the drama behind the scenes, it all tracks back to her because she always is in other people's business. That is my issue with her. Mind your
She's
business.
just like tea. That's all. She's just like tea.
Yeah, she's brewing it like Lipton, like Louisiana iced tea. Get your lemon wedge, get on the front porch, and just sit in the rocking chair and sip. That's what she doing.
Oh, that's funny.
As we get to our next match on the show, which was Penta versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio in a rematch for the Intercontinental Championship. And I thought this match was a setup for Finn Balor to come out. It was not a showcase to go out there, have a classic, put on a show. It was an angle, basically. And Finn Balor came out there and JD McDonough interfered. JD had his hair pressed and laid for the gods last night. He did. He surely did. And it flew appropriately. And Finn came out there to whoop ass. And that allowed Penta to cradle Dirty Dom for the victory. And from there, Finn Balor did jump Dirty Dominic Mysterio, tried the coup de grace that was blocked by JD McDonough. And then Dirty Dom fled. And then Finn went after JD, laid him out with Sling Blade, the shotgun in the corner, the shotgun drop kick in the corner, followed by the coup de grace for the message being sent to Dirty Dom that this is only the beginning, and this is setting up a match probably between Finn and Dirty Dom at WrestleMania, and you only bring out the demon if he's going to win.
Yeah, for sure. Good way to get some love to Finn on this, and yeah, this should be this is a nice singles match you could have on the card. This is worthy of it. Finn versus Dom, I think would be a lot of fun at WrestleMania.
Yeah, full circle from last year when he won the IC title from Finn Balor. And at that point, it kind of planted the seeds from there. And for a good while, we thought, was this the year the Dirty Dom was turning babyface? They decided to hold off on it for another year, and it paid off to get Finn more over as a babyface now. And this should pay off to a very good match at WrestleMania with the Demon in effect, which I'm looking forward to. And Stephanie Vaquer came out to jump Liv before this match between Dirty Dom and Penta, and they had a very physical brawl in Gorilla at the point you heard Stephanie basically smack Liv onto the floor. There was no padding there. So they were getting very scrappy backstage to add heat for their championship match at WrestleMania in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, we know where this is going to be. This is the middle of the road show or middle of the road match on the card. So this, like you said, the match will be fine. I'm not as excited about this as I am about Rhea Jade now, but this will be fine.
I think that this match will over deliver. I do. I feel that. Liv, Royal Rumble winner, you can't half step at WrestleMania. I don't foresee it. Stephanie has not had a great opponent to work with in a minute. So I think they will definitely over deliver depending on match placement, of course. And then backstage, signs of life. Io Sky is alive, thank God. And she is seeing Asuka being verbally abusive and mean to Kairi Sane. And Io's like, listen, despite our differences, no one deserves to be treated like this. You deserve better than that. And Asuka says, Kairi! And then she runs, of course, being scared and scarred. And that leads to Raquel Rodriguez challenging Io to a match next week on Monday Night Raw after Io cost Raquel the match against Stephanie Vaquer the week before.
Listen, I hope we do get your idea of the 3-way between them, because that would be good. If not, and it's just Asuka versus Io, I'm with that too. That'll be great. As far as Fernando's question, neither of them.
Yeah, dude. Cody says, nah, I ain't giving it up. If this was him and Drew, maybe. If it was Jacob, Drew, and Cody, yeah, I think that could have been an opener for night one. But because Randy's in the mix, no, the window has closed. There has to be a dramatic shift in the next 4 weeks to justify it. But we'll try again in 2028 because we know the Saudi Mania, we ain't going to get it short of the moving it back here. I did have a hearty laugh at Gigi. I think he was the one that said it on, I think, Observer Radio. If Saudi Mania has to move back to United States, if The Rock has to go back to New Orleans and say, guess what, New Orleans? Guess what you're getting next year? WrestleMania. And Nola can say, go fuck yourself, Dwayne.
Whoa.
Take the block is hot and go, bitch. Take
So
your Tyler Perry wig and go.
Whoa. Y'all better get that man. He about to do Moana. Moana's about to come out. Okay. So he's about to be
Perry
everywhere.
Wig, Scott, and a Tyler Perry wig. Synthetic Tyler Perry wig. Man went to the beauty supply store, sprayed that wig down, fluffed it 2 times, put it on his head.
They might as well just go back to Vegas again.
Oh, God. Oh, they've learned their lesson, have they not? Dear Lord, don't give them any ideas. Let's run it back. Fuck. No.
Give him the Jey Uso. You know?
No.
Jey Uso going to come out in Vegas on night 2 and be like, guess what, y'all? Guess what we're going to do next year? We're going to run it back.
We're going to roll the dice again. We're gonna roll the slots. I was like, oh God, just give it to Indianapolis. God damn it. These things are old WrestleManias, these venues. So, Lord, don't give them ideas to rerun Vegas again. I can't. But now it's time for our main event of Monday Night Raw. And it is CM Punk coming out to offer his rebuttal to Roman Reigns, calling him old last week. And he says, am I old? Yes, I am old. I am middle-aged, and I'm proud of it. I don't hide my age. I don't have to dye my beard. Roman Reigns does that by using Just for Men. I am proud of what I have accomplished as an older gent in this business, and I'm not shaken by being an old man because old men can still do great things in sports. I've seen it in baseball and hockey over the years, so I know I still got it too. And I would do what I must at WrestleMania to be that old man to put Roman Reigns down on the grandest age of them all. And he's already put this old man already put you down last week. Already did that. So what are you gonna do now? So I thought CM Punk was on fire here. Now, granted, why were you mad last week to punch that man out when you're proud to be an old man? When you're proud to be in your mid 40s, embracing your borderline double ARP way of life? Really? You were that mad to knock that man out with a mic shot, but you're good now. You're fine. And that leads to the Usos coming out. And Jey Uso is like Scrappy Doo. He is hot. He is heated. He's like, how dare you slander my family, my cousin, me? You're talking about me. And CM Punk is amused by this. Like, here he is. Jay's red hot getting mad at me when your cousin should be mad for all of y'all, but you're being mad for him. And Jimmy's trying to be mediator, trying to keep the peace, but it's to no avail as Roman comes out. And Roman tells Jimmy, hey, y'all had a match, right? Did you win? No. So if you're done for the night, then you need to take your brother and you need to get out of my ring right now. And Roman says, well, you might need them at some point. Stick around. You might need some help. So Jay snaps, goes after Punk, and Roman intervenes, gets his shots in on Punk too. And we have the security. We have Adam Pearce come out there trying to break things up. And then Jey Uso, being scrappy dude that he is, being the main event guy from 6 years ago, is basically encouraging Roman, take him out, take your shot, do it now. And Roman, in fact, does it. He lays out Punk with a spear. He goes to the ringside area, lifts up CM Punk, and power bombs him through the announce table. And then after that, to end Monday Night Raw, CM Punk laughs at all of this, laughs at what just happened, knowing this whole family is triggered. He is a whole troll. The segment was fine. And the crowd are just a mob because you want more. You was chanting for CM Punk, but yet again, you wanted Roman to powerbomb him one more time.
I think the whole thing was pretty good. You got Jey Uso's definitely becoming the right hand man again. And this dude's yelling out orders, and Roman Reigns going back to his old instincts. But again, CM Punk, out here repping the shield of the old flag, but got real upset. And I don't think there's that much of an age difference between the two anyway. So it is what it is. The what they're saying may not be as good, but the way they're delivering it and what's happening in between those moments is kind of what's keeping this thing afloat. Then you have another security come and break out. You just had somebody arrested. Like, so you having another security come out just isn't hitting the same.
Lame ass security at that. It does not land the same at all. And it was a fine ending to the show. Now, the verbal shots have lessened a bit. The Usos are fully entrenched in the storyline. They're going to play a role in this main event. And we do wonder how it's going to go. Now, the question becomes, ironically enough, because you can be very predictable and reunite the bloodline, or all of this is a red herring, and maybe the Usos align with CM Punk.
I don't know. Does it align with him as like are they good guys?
I don't know. It's like, it's too easy to gift wrap Roman the win with his cousin's help because it's like a mile away. You can see it. They've been teasing it for weeks. So the other way would be for them to simply join in and say, well, you're right. Our cousin ain't shit. It's got to be a swerve in some way because it's too obvious for them just to fall back in line with Roman.
Yeah, but you know the trouble that comes with Roman and having them as a unit, as one of the most dominant units they've had. So I could absolutely see them going back to it. And obviously, it's not going to go 3 years, but I just can't imagine them having them on the same page and CM Punk able to overcome the odds. So, but I also can't see the Usos and CM Punk, at least unless they're going to turn on Roman, which is what reaction are you trying to get at that point?
Yeah, I don't know because this feels like it's too easy with the bloodline helping Roman win. Like it's telegraphed. Jay's being way more extra lately, barking out orders. Roman still treats them like shit. He still treats them like garbage. And Roman's like, hey, for the family, I need y'all to get him before WrestleMania. I just wonder at what cost is this going to come back to get Roman because he always expects them to help him. I just feel something is a bit off with this, that it might not be as clean cut as we think it is.
And you know what? That's kind of what they need at this point. So hopefully you're right. Maybe they are forming some type of new unit for CM Punk, but I think we're getting the reuniting of the bloodline. Um, and I think we could be in for another lengthy run, but we're definitely not getting another special run.
No. So we're back to the fifth inning, apparently. If we're going back to the bloodline, we're going back to the fifth inning of this game. It's now game 5 in the fifth inning. Great. And then Fernando notes Punk should possibly reform a modernized straight edge society to offset the bloodline. Who would you recruit? I don't know.
Who would CM Punk recruit? He would probably get like the man probably get the elite unit. He'll get Rusev and who else is somebody who's coming from AEW that he could put in that group? And he'll get Royce Keys. And that'll be his unit right there.
You know what? Trying it for sure. And then Maria says, what if Sami Zayn joins the story? I think he's preoccupied with Cody right now and smashing water bottles backstage on SmackDown.
And Trick just being better than him at everything except in the ring.
Oh, shade. That is shade. You just threw it. Trick. Wow.
Really?
Yes.
You think Trick's better than Sami in the ring?
Now, listen, I didn't say that. You just basically said, wait, there's no contest.
I think Trick is better than everything else Sami got going on except in the ring.
Okay, well, at least we're being honest, but that was a clear shot at that man saying, well, you're good in all other areas except this one area, the most important area. The most important area is to be a wrestler and you're insufficient. That's what you just said.
Nah, I got love for Trick.
You do, but you just got to the buck right there at the very end of your sentence. And I love Trick too. I do. But you was very blunt in your assessment. He's good at everything but this one area here. Now, will Sami pull out a miracle at WrestleMania? We shall see. I think he'll do more with him than Karrion Kross because, child, y'all really was blaming Sami out here for something that he could not do. Truly.
Nah, that was on Sami.
Shame. Meanwhile, The Rock could be pulling the strings behind all of this. The Usos and Punk working with The Rock. Ooh.
Yeah. And then for The Rock to disappear in a month and then CM Punk be like, well, gotta change of plans.
You know, it's all contingent on whether or not Dwayne loves it. If he loves it, he's going to stick around. If he hates it, well, I was here in the cameo role. And for all we know, Dwayne is possibly helping Randy Orton on SmackDown as the person online too.
The new bloodline.
The new bloodline. The remix.
Bloodline.
The remix. The new dynasty. But let's quickly shift over to SmackDown, and we got to talk about Randy Orton. Now, Randy, as we predicted, as I had a feeling that this man will not be booed at all. And he tried to explain himself. And he basically said, listen, I spent my career in the last 10 or so years being the family man and being the one that would sign autographs and put a smile on someone's face and put a smile on someone's face and grant a child and make a wish. And I enjoyed that. I really did. But it didn't fulfill me. It made me feel empty every time that I did it. And I know what I truly want. I want number 15. I want to be the world champ again. I want to be in that hunt to break John Cena's record as a possible 18-time world champion. And Cody gave me the freedom to be me. He said that he wants the Viper. He doesn't want his brother. He doesn't want his friend. He wants the Viper. And he doesn't want me to feel bad about what I did. So I didn't. So I went there and I listened to the voices in my head. He was basically quoting his song. They counsel me, they talk to me, and I listen. And so I have to go on this path. I must do what I must to win this championship. And who can boo him? The man is not getting booed. So at this point, I do wonder what WWE is going to do because he ain't getting booed. He attacked Matt Cardona backstage and in the ring, and he did not get booed. So, Cody, you're going to have to take an assessment and say, what can I do? At this point, heading into WrestleMania, for this match only, I'm not suggesting they do this as a permanent means, but something's got to give in terms of heat, and it might be a double turn, at least for this match only.
I'll tell you what's gonna happen. Y'all keep not booing Randy Orton like he won. He gonna go back to Chinlock Orton. Okay, y'all remember Chinlock Orton? That man used to put you in a headlock for 5 minutes at a time in matches. So y'all keep playing with him if you want to. He gonna get you to boo. Okay, I don't know. Maybe not. They could do like a Rock Hogan thing where they just, you know what, let's just swap roles. You just go dirty. I'll play clean, and we'll get the objective that we're looking for. But either way, I think the match is still going to be great. The reaction is going to be great, even if they let him just be the John Cena of this era, where even if he gets booed, you still push him as the face. He'll still get the crowd on the side by the end.
We shall see. This is going to be a big test. And my concern is the residual effects after WrestleMania. Because is it truly for one feud only that Cody might get that pushback from the fans, or is it going to be a trend alert? We're going to learn a lot in the next few months for sure. Fernando's offering punt suggestions to Danhausen or Joe Hendry from NXT.
Well, Joe said, "Yeah, I'm going back down to go win me a world title. Y'all can do whatever y'all want on SmackDown." And Danhausen's selling too much merch.
That's a merch god right there. And the fact that Joe Hendry said, "Let me go back to NXT and let me get the hell away from the Miz." That was a 2-for-1 special. He says, "I will not get sucked into this orbit of Miz."
Yeah, it's funny. Everybody who encounters a Miz ends up going to win titles.
You know what? You cannot take credit for that at all. The man had to leave to get a title. It was not within the main roster.
He didn't stay long enough. If he'd have stayed, he might be United States champion right now.
Okay. You're an optimist. I love that for you. Meanwhile, let's get to Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley's promo segment. They talked. It was just words. I don't care about the words as much right now between the two of them, because we know things kind of got real on the socials for a bit. And now WWE is trying to maintain the scripting of it all. And it's sucking the soul from the verbal battle for me. But this one saving grace was the fact after 11,000 years, Jade finally has her baddies on the main roster. We kind of saw this coming a few months ago when B-Fab was looking a certain way at Jade and Jade was looking at her a certain way. And we saw them talk last week behind the scenes. And this leads to B-Fab and Michin being there for Jade to jump on Rhea Ripley, and now they are the baddies, the new baddies of WWE, and I'm kind of here for it. Love the photo shoot. They look like a good trio, and we'll see where it goes heading into WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's a good group for Jade to have. People who can do the work in the ring for him. Each is a good worker, so you guys are kind of a workhorse for the group. BFAB can get some exposure, experience, and Jade doesn't have to wrestle all the time. When she does wrestle, it can mean something, and she can just come in there and kind of just run shop. So I think it's a great move. Rhea Ripley will definitely get some help. This is probably how Io Sky is going to end up on the card, is by coming out to try to even the odds.
Yeah, I see that as well. Looking forward to how this all unfolds heading into WrestleMania season. I do want the verbal jousting to be a bit better. Like, can we just be creative here? Let's have some fun on the microphone. Let's not be so stringent, please.
Nah, this will keep it from ending up like a Becky Tiffany Stratton thing. I think they're like, yeah, now we're good. We let them have their moment. They went too far. We got it from here.
Yeah, I
Chat
think
GBT.
that Copilot, the thing that Road Dogg left behind on his last day. Listen, let me leave this AI behind so you guys can do this on your own without me. But yeah, I think that what happened with Charlotte and Tiffany last year was a reminder that things can go left very quickly. But listen, the more I look at old footage from last year, Charlotte ate that girl up in that VSL Light split screen interview when she just kept saying via cash in, you beat me. Like, Tiffany wasn't ready. And unfortunately, it spilled over onto TV that she really wasn't ready.
Yeah, Charlotte was like, yeah, we are not the same, but I'll do my best.
Yes. And listen, if you saw the match last year, Tiffany, she wore those battle scars because Charlotte put it on her.
Yeah, she was like, that's cool. We getting in the ring, so that's fine.
And she showed her. And you, child, she ain't never put it on Tiffany. Like, she laid it in. Tiffany came out there looking rough, but she won. She survived. She did. And Fernando notes, why isn't Rhea not in the discussion with Becky as the GOAT for the women?
I don't think not yet. Because what Becky's done is kind of, there's nothing that Rhea's done that's been on the level of Becky at her peak. Rhea may be as popular as anybody on the roster like Becky was at one point, but Becky was as much as Ronda was a big reason, Becky getting over as much as she did was a big reason. She changed WrestleMania plans. As a woman to do that, that's a huge thing to happen, especially during that time. For them to get that closing night 2 main event spot. So just that closing main event spot. So yeah, I don't think she's in. I think Becky's in a different tier right now. Rhea Ripley continues on the path that she's on, especially with the match qualities that she's had. We could be talking about something different, but I think what Becky's done is just on another pedestal as far as what she was able to do and kind of that door she opened up.
Yeah, great points as well. And the one difference is that Becky Lynch main evented WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley has not. She has had more championship matches at WrestleMania, but she has not closed a WrestleMania. And the one match that can absolutely close a WrestleMania is Rhea versus Bianca Belair. That is the one match that she could absolutely close a WrestleMania, and that would tighten the gap quite a bit because Bianca's WrestleMania resume is equally as impressive too. So that would be the money match for sure. Becky has simply been around longer, broke that barrier because technically speaking, she was not supposed to even be in that main event match of WrestleMania. It was going to be Ronda and Charlotte, and Becky got over and she willed herself in that main event, point blank, period. And she's kept that spot consistently at WrestleManias over the last 6 or 7 years. Rhea's there, but to close a WrestleMania, that might tighten the gap for sure.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then we get to our poetry slam, our poetry slam contest involving Kit Wilson and noted motivational speaker, Reverend Rose of Jelly. And I want to celebrate Kit Wilson. He's taken a gimmick that could have been DOA and he has gotten it over. And this man did slam poetry and shaded Jelly Roll. And I laughed at several points during his poetry slam. And I appreciate that. Then Rose of Jelly, Jelly Roll rebutted. And he had a few good lines, but he had to resort to your mama jokes. And when you do that, you don't have much left in your arsenal verbally. And then Kit went after Jelly Roll, laid him out with an elbow, and we will have a match this Friday on SmackDown. Not a WrestleMania on SmackDown, but I think it's going to be an angle leading to whatever is going to happen at WrestleMania between Jelly Roll and Kit Wilson. When I tell you I was shockingly impressed by this segment, would be an understatement.
Well, don't be, because Jelly Roll knows what he's doing out there. And shout out to Kit. But yeah, this is not surprising though that Jelly Roll lost a verbal duel because it happened to Flow Rider. Remember Bo Dallas? So yeah, I'm not surprised.
Listen, we have to remember the day that Flow Rider's career ended by way of Bo Dallas. The exposure we witnessed on Monday Night Raw when Bo Dallas had more bars than Flow Rider, who could not even come up with a bar on the fly. We knew then that man had a ghostwriter. That Sia were all of his hooks.
Yeah, when you get beat by Bo Rider on Monday Night Raw, you know it's time to give it up.
Yep. When was the last time you heard a song by Flow Rider? It's been a very long time. A very long time indeed. And then throughout SmackDown, we had Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu fight and brawl. And at the beginning of SmackDown, Lord Jesus, we had the fakest parking lot brawl. I've never seen a windshield, Scott, just peel off, just fall to the ground and don't shatter. And Drew and Jacob fought on it. And Jacob was bloody. And the fight continued all night long until both guys fell off a scaffold to end the show. So what are we getting at WrestleMania? Last man standing, Hell in a Cell. We're getting something of high stakes for this blood feud on SmackDown.
Yeah, we're getting a scaffold match.
No, we're not.
Yeah, it'll be some type of no holds bar, some stipulation like that, or steel cage to keep him in there or something. Well, yeah, we'll get something like that for sure. Match will be fun. I think they'll both go at it, and Jacob Fatu will get a big win.
Yes, indeedy. And then David, hello, David. We got to shout out some people that recently passed away. Kiki Shepard from Showtime at the Apollo. Memories of my youth, man. If you were up at 1:00 in the morning on a Saturday night, you would tune in to Showtime at the Apollo. What a time to be alive. Chuck Norris from Walker, Texas Ranger. That is why we call Walker HBK, Walker HBK. And Dennis Quandary from the Midnight Express. Rest in peace to all of those folks who passed away within the last week or so. Fernando, shame on you. Kit Wilson is the Miz 2.0.
Yeah, shame on you for thinking someone can have the career that the Miz had. It's not an easy thing to do. You can't just give that to everybody.
Wow. First of all, Kit will surpass the Miz.
Stop.
In every category that matters in life in 15 years.
Will
he's already got the wife. He married up. He married up impressively, and he's going to level up in life as a champion.
He ain't getting no TV show. He ain't getting no American Gladiator hosting gigs. I can tell you that.
Listen, I ain't watching that shit. They've rebooted it twice, and I don't care.
It won't be Mr. and Mrs. Wilson. He won't get no TV shows. I can tell you that.
Mr. Wilson couldn't resist. Could not resist. And yeah, Delta Force, yeah, that was my favorite Chuck Norris movie too. I can't lie. That was a special place in my heart. I do enjoy that one. And Walker, Texas Ranger. And the clips from Conan O'Brien with the lever. If y'all want to just laugh, just go on YouTube, Google all of that. And one clip in particular will have you in tears because it was so out of context and so out of place and completely egregious. And it gave me life. And if you want to laugh, you go find that in the rabbit hole for sure. And with that, that was the week that was in WWE, a very packed week for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. NXT was a show. And when they stand and deliver, we will stand and deliver our picks in a couple of weeks. Actually, next week. We'll do it next week because that's the only time we will discuss NXT because nothing is happening of note.
Except Ren Sinclair doing her
Yes.
thing, hold me down.
Making you relevant and valid. And that is important to make sure this pick is a winning one. But before we go, it's now time for our match of the week, the match that made Scott stand and deliver between Raw, SmackDown, NXT, main event, Evolve, and Triple A.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be Carmelo and Ilya.
Mhm.
They put on a little bit of a show. Carmelo's having a great run, and it's a match worth going out of your way to check out.
It was great. I was a little upset because I did not want them to wrestle on television until WrestleMania. Does not mean they can't run it back at WrestleMania to raise the stakes. And I would love to see these guys do 2 out of 3 falls or an Iron Man match at WrestleMania. You can give them 20 to 30 minutes to go out there. You can make room for them. To blow off this feud, you have to. To prove that Ilya can get it done, you have to give them the time.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov are not getting 30 minutes at WrestleMania night 1 or 2 or 3.
Not 3. Not a 3-day WrestleMania weekend.
They're not getting
Don't
30
give them
minutes on
ideas.
SmackDown after, the SmackDown before, the Raw before, or the Raw after.
Oh my God. And then, too bad Trick Williams is taking the U.S. Championship from him after Mania. Possibly, maybe, if he gets past Sami Zayn. And shout out to Aleister Black for getting a dub. So he's beaten Randy and Sami recently. And Black Mass is starting to look like Black Mass again. I love that for me.
Nice wins. And once Randy wins his title match, that'll probably be his lingering feud.
Indeed, indeed. And with that, that is a wrap for all things WWE as we are on that road to WrestleMania with 25 days to go. So, Scott, I want to thank you as always for joining me to recap the week so far in WWE.
Thank you for having me, Keila. As always, it's a pleasure to chop it up and talk all things WWE. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Thank you for showing up. And should be another good week. Can't wait to see the rolls of jelly roll all over the Wilson kit.
Wilson kit. Okay. And to answer David's question, Team Pretty Deadly. So Kit's on SmackDown, killing it as a single star right now. Unfortunately, Elton Prince has a serious neck injury he suffered last year during a match on SmackDown, needed fusion surgery. He is out for some time. That is why Kit got the solo push. I thought it was Doom, but I knew Kit, if given the opportunity, could make this work. I thought like it could be Doom, but Kit Wilson, you gave that man a fire theme song. That was the first saving grace. Number 2, give that man mic time, and he can get this over. And he is starting to get over for sure.
Good on him for making the most of his time.
Yes, which ain't easy to do because you know what? He could have been a spring cleaning casualty. Could have been, but he saved himself. And that is a good thing. That's sticking on your feet and making the most out of your opportunities. And with that, I want to thank everybody for joining the live conversation tonight. We have some new people in the chat room. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. And we'll be back next Monday after Monday Night Raw from the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. It'll be a double feature for WWE on Monday Night Raw and NXT being there next week as well. The final show before Roadblock as well. Before Stand and Deliver as well via Roadblock for NXT. So until then, for myself and for Salty Scott Young, that is a wrap for all things WWE. Take care and bye-bye.